This is Eric from Out of Darkness, and you're watching Podcast of the Wicked.
And welcome to Podcast of the Wicked. This is Bill.
And I'm Metal Rose. And who do we have here?
Blind Metal Gamer.
All right, man. What got you into Iced Earth to begin with?
All right. Well, my journey into the fandom of Iced Earth, it began in 2004. I'd heard of them back. Remember when AOL had their radio station, right?
Oh, yeah, I
AOL
remember
radio.
that.
So I was listening to the power metal station. Oh, Iced Earth, who are they? So I kind of got a taste of them. And then I discovered they were working on The Glorious Burden, and it was going to have Tim Owens on vocals. I'm like, who's Tim Owens? So I did some more digging, right? It was Judas Priest, well, at the time, current frontman, and then he stepped aside so Rob could reunite with Priest. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a history album. Yeah, I'm going to buy this. So I went to Sam Goody. I'm sure you all remember those. On Cue, Sam Goody stores. So I went there, and two girls that I went to school with, that I graduated with, were working. And I pre-ordered The Glorious Burden. And I also was doing some looking, and there was an album called The Dark Saga. I'm like, oh, what's The Dark Saga? So I looked on, I'm sure you're familiar with darklyrics.com. So I went to that site, and I looked it up. And my screen reader at the time was, it's a Spawn concept album. So I double dipped and got that one too. And when I got The Glorious Burden, I was blown away. Just wow. The production was great. The tracks were great. Ripper's vocals were just insane. And my favorite tracks from the album, I didn't get the European version. I got the North American version without Waterloo on it. But my favorite tracks were Attila, Greenface, the entire Gettysburg trilogy. I liked, let's see, When the Eagle Cries was a good one, and then Declaration Day. And Valley Forge.
That's super awesome.
So that's how
I love all those songs too. That's really great. Yeah, that album, that history album, is so good. We love Glorious Burden.
I'm like, they got to do a part 2 of this.
Absolutely. I wish they would.
Yeah.
That would be a
oh my god
thing.
That and Horror Show.
I wish there was.
I'm wearing my Horror Show t-shirt today.
Nice.
Everything's on sale this week, guys, on the Iced Earth site. I'm not trying to be like, always plugging like, sales, but this shirt is super cool. And we used to have them. They used to have them back in the day. I was looking up original prices for Horror Show shirts that look similar to this, and they were like $150.
Oh, wow.
But now this one is, I think, what is it, 30 on the site?
That ain't bad.
Yeah, not at all. I'm gonna get the exact price right now. Yeah, these shirts are let's see. Let's go back into apparel, because you know what, they have a lot of the stuff on up in front right now, like a lot of the vintage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So home.
I'm hoping there's going to be some stuff left come next week, because I'm hoping to pick up some more stuff.
Yeah, they're $30 a piece. They're not. These aren't on sale right now. The newer ones are not on sale, but the ones that are left over in the store are on sale right now. I'm not sure how long the sale's going on. Did it say? I hate to like not have all the information in front of me. I have it.
To the 25th. 25th.
Oh, it's 25th. Okay, so he's giving you guys plenty of time to have 25%
next
off
Friday
music and 15% off on all other apparel.
Yep.
So
nice.
Yeah. Really good.
Well, if my taxes hit early, I might scoot back up in there and grab a few things.
Yeah, they might. Mine hit like a week early, so I was like, holy crap. So
I do want to get that picture of Jon Schaffer.
Oh yeah. It's a good one. I have it up in my room. So Blind Metal Gamer, I remember we had a conversation and we were talking about the Something Wicked album and how relatable it was to you. Can you kind of remember some of that?
Oh yeah, I can go deep on this. The Something Wicked storyline as a whole. You know how in the storyline the sessions separate the humans based on race, right? And religion
Yeah.
and language. Well, a bit of history context. People with disabilities, such as myself, way back in ancient times, up through just here recently, want to know what they would do to people like me with disabilities when we were born back in the day. They would put us in institutions away from society. So the whole separation thing, being separated from the world and being outcast, and then being divided from the world and having to learn how to adapt and do things in a typically developing world. I can totally relate to that. And I'm like, oh my God, this whole concept speaks to me. It's like it's preaching change. You got to change your ways, or the evil will be victorious.
I really always love that interpretation, man. Like,
And the evil is whatever you want it to be, by the way.
Yeah. It kind of like fits. It could fit anything.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh wow, like I was listening to the clouding, and it was like, oh wait, this is actually hitting me. Wait a minute, duh, But yeah, it's just like, I did a deep dive on the story, and it's like, oh my God, this isn't just people with, color, race, language. It really fits disability people too, because if you look back through history, people with disabilities were divided amongst, away from their typical developing peers. Some of us had to make the ultimate sacrifice, because they didn't know what to do, and we would get harmed in those institutions. And there were some that died. So I totally get the Something Wicked storyline. I totally get it.
Yeah, that's very true that people died, and a lot of people don't like look into that. They don't really realize.
No, they don't.
And I'm really glad that Something Wicked touched you in such a way that it helped you get through such an intense,
oh yeah,
thing. I mean, and it's not easy to live life with a disability. All of us have something, but especially, something like losing your vision, not having your vision. I really admire everything you do, with having a job and doing all of the Blind Metal Gamer stuff, and all of this, all of the stuff that you always share with me about Iced Earth and how Jon's music helped you. It really, really means a lot, like, just to hear your story.
oh yeah. And as far as Jon's music, I mean, it helped me in other ways too.
How so?
Well, let's see. Well, there were 2 points in my life where I lost 2 very important people.
That must have been hard.
Jon's music helped me get through that. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad the music can help, and that you have our community, and we're all your friend. We're friends, we're all friends here.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry for
Yeah.
for your losses.
No judgment here.
I think Iced Earth
yeah.
has helped us through a lot of tough times, all of us, I honestly, you were talking about the clouding before,
Yeah.
Blind Metal Gamer, and that song, it means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. But when Jon was in jail, I really connected with the spoken word version of that song. It was just
I need to check that out. I have not checked that out yet, but I'm going to.
That's on that Wicked Words and Epic Tales album.
I will do that. I will go check that out.
Yeah, it's streamable. And it really touched me in a way where I was just like, I need to help this man. I don't know what I can do, but I'm going to spread the word about his story. And
oh yeah,
hearing his spoken word version of that, it brought me to tears. It made me think about a lot of things including what he was going through, but it was so relatable. You know, those lyrics are just so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's no matter what version of that song, it's very hard to take, you
Oh,
know.
I know. It's like it's a punch to the gut almost. But yeah, John's music helped me get through some tremendous loss in my life. 2 points in my life.
I know.
So
One of those points was recently too.
yep, 2 years ago.
So, Bill, I don't know if you know, but Blind Metal Gamer here and one of his good friends interviewed John Greeley a couple of years ago. So,
Yeah, we did.
yeah. That was a really, really
nice.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
they did a really great
Awesome.
episode, and I'll share it with you, and I could share it here in the
Oh yeah, definitely. And sadly, she passed away 2 years ago. So,
Cool.
well, not cool that she passed away.
I think he's he's a
Yeah,
little
the
delayed.
interview. Yeah. The interview.
I think Bill's a little delayed, so I don't think he meant cool about her. Yeah, I think he meant cool about
Oh,
the interview.
the interview. Yeah, but yeah, she passed. So that the music helped me with that, and then
Yeah.
I had a family member that passed away 8 years ago, so that helped me with that as well. So yeah, his music has really been a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah.
so I mean, I hope that he can hear this. I just want to say thank you to John for making that music, not only just for me, but for those who need it.
Yes.
And don't stop. Keep going.
You mean Schaefer when you say that, because we
Yeah.
were yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Schaffer.
I think Jon Schaffer will come back. I can't say definitively, but I think eventually, when he's really feeling it, I think the emotions will eventually come out. But I think it's going to take time for those emotions.
Oh yeah. I just want to let him know that if he's hearing this, Jon Schaffer, your music has helped me. It's helped a lot of other people. And whatever you do, man, don't stop Iced Earth. Keep going. Would you? I was thinking of an idea in my head.
What's that idea, man?
All right. You know, in the interview he did, he said there's nothing heavier than the story of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Just imagine either a 2 or 3 concept album about Jesus Christ's birth, death, and resurrection. Just imagine what that would be like.
That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I would buy it day one.
Who would you like to see be in Iced Earth, Tim?
Well, would you like to kind of hear my thoughts on this whole concept idea that I've kind of been cooking in my head?
Sure. I thought you were fit. I apologize. Yeah, sure.
We'll definitely. Okay, my thought process is this. So for the first album, it would be about from his birth up to the point where he gets crucified. And what I'm thinking is, whoever would be the lead vocalist, I would think maybe Matt would be Jesus. Would be that role. And then we would have guest vocalists, maybe like get Stu Block and Ripper Owens and Gene and John in there, and maybe some other ones, maybe Halford, just some other folks to have different roles, because you would need different roles for different people in the story. So the first album is Jesus' birth up through his crucifixion, or up to that point. The second album would go from the point where he's going to be crucified, he's on the cross, he knows he's about to die for mankind's sins. And, in the song Melancholy Holy Martyr, it's about, Jesus, but, what has mankind done? Why is he doing this? So it would explore that a little deeper, as to why is he doing this if he knows that mankind is just going to turn away from me and betray me, for the evil of the world. And then, you go up to the point where he gets resurrected. And then album 3 would be he's resurrected and he's warning the people of the world, hey, don't turn away from me. This evil is out there. If you embrace the evil, it's going to get you in a bad way. and you're going to end up in hell, and there's no going back.
Not a bad idea. I mean,
What do you all think?
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, it would be an interesting thing to put an album together for. Greeley just did that Book of Revelations thing. So, I mean, Bible stories are always make for pretty cool heavy metal stories,
Oh, yeah. That's where a lot of those bands get their inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. So, okay, I'm ready for what the next thing.
So Bill, do you have something to say about all this? Or some comments?
I mean, I think that would be cool. Or he could take if he really wanted to do like a kind of like a concept like that, he could take and break down all 4 gospels and do parts from like each gospel or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
He could do he could do an album like where he did like maybe like 3 songs is like from the book of Matthew, and then maybe do like 3 songs from the book of Mark,
Luke,
and then maybe a couple songs or something from Luke and John and different stuff like that.
That would be cool.
And then maybe even do something else. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would have to say sometimes though, and I know this is going to sound weird by saying this, right? But like sometimes, like I think you can get too caught up sometimes in the Christian thing, or in the I won't say religious aspect of it, to the point to where I think you're trying to, like you take for instance like Gene, okay. He does Jacob's Well, and even though it's called Jacob's Well, he does a lot of religious themed stuff, but he also does a lot of just if it's a good story or something, he'll do it. And he's done like the last album he did there called The Harvest Wind was kind of a little bit darker stuff than they normally do or whatever. So it's kind of like one of those things where he could still do songs. Doesn't always have to do something religious. It could just be something that, if it inspires him or whatever, he could do whatever he wanted. Like, I mean, as long as you have God in your heart and you know where you stand with him and everything, there's, you can do things, because like even God said, there's, don't become like, don't worship that. You can do everything in moderation, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
Yeah.
That would be,
do something and it wasn't exactly totally religious,
Right. That's kind of how I am, I've got my beliefs and my faith, and like I do the gaming thing, and it might be dark and M-rated, but I focus on other things. I got to focus
you
on
have
life.
Special relationship with Christ, and where it's at,
Yep. And I'm not gonna salvage that, but I'm also at the same time, when I'm doing content, I have to focus on, okay, I'm doing this and not the other.
Absolutely.
And things do slip. I'm not gonna lie.
So Blind Metal Gamer and Bill, real quick, is it okay if Dave Myers joins in on the
Sure.
Hey, ain't nobody perfect.
Hey,
are you cool with that, Bill?
Sure.
I'm cool. Bring him in.
I'll tell him to join then. Hold on, because he happens to be home. I guess it's because it's Good Friday.
Hey, I was listening to Iced Earth on the Echo Dot, and the first song that popped up today was Melancholy Holy Martyr.
Nice.
I know, right?
Guys, I know it's not Ice Earth related, but while we're kind of waiting on Dave, I got something I want to plug.
Sure.
Okay.
Plug it. Plug it on up.
Spoken word album.
Oh, I didn't even
nice.
know you like that. That's really cool.
I didn't know that either.
Wow, you have a great voice for podcasting, so it's got to be a good spoken word album.
So where can people find this spoken word album, and what is it called?
Yeah. Well, it's called The Winds of Change, or it's actually called Winds of Change. I only have
Winds of
copies of it.
Change.
You can't buy it like in stores or anything like that.
So
But,
it's not like streamable or gotcha.
I have
gotcha.
I have a bunch of copies of it. No.
Oh.
Hey, I got
wish it
something I
was.
want
See,
to
it don't even have a barcode on the back.
Oh wow. All right,
ahead.
map. All right. So for those of you who like podcasts, the latest episode of the Blindside podcast is out now on Spotify, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms, excluding Apple and Stitcher. And the next episode will be recorded in May. And the Blind Metal Gamer YouTube channel has 489 subscribers.
Nice.
And on there, you will find Twitch exports, live game streaming, the Blindside podcast. I got my Blindside video podcast for when I record it for audio. I also stream it on YouTube and Twitch. So the next episode that me and Kyra Super Sharon are going to do is part 2 of our personal trips to hell.
That sounds exciting. And you know, if you got, go ahead. You still have more to say.
If you want, Metal Rose, if you all want, what I'm thinking is, if it would be cool, I could share the audio version in the podcast and Stone community. I'll talk to Kyra about it.
Oh yeah, please do so. You could also, if you want to share some of it in Podcast of the Wicked, you're okay. I'm okay with that. And just send me all of the links you'd like me to plug, and I'll put all of the links for Blind Metal Gamer below. And if you want to find me, I'm Rosebud1313 almost everywhere except on TikTok and Rumble. I think I'm Rosebud131313 on Rumble. I'll have to double check that. And
I've never used Rumble.
Yeah, I mean it's a more conservative platform, and John actually promoted Rumble, so I think it's a good place to be. I've put Podcast of the Wicked up there as well, like our episodes and everything. And TikTok, I believe, I think I'm Thorny Rose 1313. So if you're looking for me, you can find me there, and I'll link my Linktree below. And if anybody
that's
here
what
today
I'll do with
plug. I'll
link it in the chat, and then you can put it in my Linktree, so you'll get everything: my X, my Instagram, my podcast, my YouTube, my Twitch, and my Suno AI music.
Nice.
Which they're being jerked right now. They won't let me put videos on YouTube. So yeah.
Well, maybe John's real. I really appreciate that John hates AI music, but I understand why you do it. You get an exception.
And so does the evil chocolate cookie.
Yes, absolutely. So Blind Metal Gamer, you were on This and That with Freddie and Matt. That must have been an honor.
Oh, that was epic. I loved it. I loved that because I finally got to talk about, metal and how, when I had good vision, I could see album covers and things, and my late brother would, he would look at the album covers and read me the tracks, and he would poke fun at Ice Earth whenever he got the chance because he loved doing that to give me a hard time. but as far as like me and metal, the one band I have yet to see is Ice Earth. I've seen Metallica, I've seen Godsmack, I've seen Kid Rock, I've seen Tenacious D, but not Ice Earth. So if they ever start touring again and they come close to where I'm at, I'm going.
So really, you've seen Tenacious D?
Yes. And, it was the first concert I ever went to.
That's pretty awesome.
Me and some family went. It was 2002, and I was 18.
Oh, that
I was, in public school. For those who don't know, I went to a school for the blind in my home state. And at that school, you would live on. If you were so many miles away, you lived on campus.
Yeah.
And Iced Earth, they had a radio station, right? Had I brought Iced Earth into that school, they would have took one look at it and put the band hammer on it real quick. Oh yeah.
I know you used to tell me that.
Oh yeah. So I was at this school, or I was at public school, and I went to this concert, It was my first one. It was in Louisville at Freedom Hall, and I was able to see Kid Rock on stage and all that from a decent feet away. I could see all the pyro and stuff. And so it was time to get a shirt. I had to get it was my first concert, got to get the shirt, right? So I get one that just said Kid Rock in red, white, and blue. We kind of didn't look at the back because it had a red, white, and blue middle finger sticking up. I was like, oh, God. I couldn't wear this to school. They would have had me for that one.
So actually, I want to go back to that topic that we had.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like, Metal Dave, what would you like to see John write an album about? What do you think would be a cool thing for him to write an album about?
That's a good question. I mean, you could always go with the Something Wicked saga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or any other, sci-fi related thing. Like anything fantasy sci-fi, I'm always down for. I think that would be a cool direction if you wanted to go there. Get away from like all the political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If he just wants to do something, separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Bill? What do you think? What do you think he should write an album about?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm down for pretty much anything, but I would like to see, because how he was talking about how the narrative soundscape was supposed to be like his forte in the self-publishing and all that stuff, poems or whatever, some of the themes or whatever. I would actually like to see him do something like what Bruce Dickinson just done with his solo album, like the Mandrake Project, where he would do like a and can really
That'd be cool.
and could like release the comics like every several months or something, like
He should
he's
just
doing
do
through
it.
Z2 Comics.
I think he should just do that with the comics. I know he said it was supposed to be more of like a book, but I think he should just do it with the comics. I think there's enough interest. We're all like, not trying to sound rude, but we're all like comic book nerds here. Like,
Right.
I mean, so, or at least even if we're not comic book nerds, like we're kind of into like that that band Ghost just came out with a comic book, and it's incredible. And they have, they're selling like the regular copies for like $5, and then they're selling like a premium copy for like $30, and it, with like foil and stuff on the cover, and it's so cool. Like, like he had. I think it would go great. I don't know. I mean, I have the book. I don't know how many of you guys. I don't know if everybody else here has the book, but
if these books would be in audio form, I'd be so down. See, that would be my only concern, would be make it in an accessible format for the blind and visually impaired, because John had mentioned audiobooks. If he ever gets into that, I'm going to buy him full force, because I can listen to the book, I can envision it in my head.
Yes.
And other blind people can get into it as well.
Yes, yeah. But I was just thinking, like, with if you have the book, and if you have some of the accessories with the book, like I have like they're like collectible cards, but they're like they're like made out of like steel or titanium or something.
Oh, nice.
And he has a bookmark that it has like Jon Schaffer is on the bookmark, but it's like a comic book type Jon Schaffer with it's Set Abominate with Jon Schaffer on puppet strings, with Jon Schaffer with a tiny Set Abominate on puppet strings.
Oh, nice.
And I always I really want to know, like, there's all this artwork in this book, and I really want to know, what is this story? Like, I'm seeing like, Jon Schaffer kind of like Batman on on one of the shirts, and it's in the book too, I think. And then it's like Jon Schaffer like in chariots and stuff. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
What
what's
is the story?
up?
I want to know what this is. Like,
Me
you know,
too.
these drawings are so incredible. So it would be an exciting thing, an exciting product for me. I know he doesn't have it in him, but I would love to see that at some point if he ever changes his mind, because I want to
I
know
would
what
love
that
that.
story is.
I want to know that too. And he mentioned getting into audiobooks. He's got, I mean, yeah, I could see that. I would get into that. Make an audiobook, set it to some of the backgrounds like in the narrative soundscape.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, now he mentioned the song Democide has a spoken version as well.
Yeah, and that's not digital right now. Yeah, like I'm
Are there
trying.
going to be any plans to get that digital? And
He said he would do it when he was on the podcast, so we'll see. You know, we'll see. I think he wasn't sure what the rights were. I think he wasn't sure if he had to delay it or not.
oh yeah, I remember that. Another thing, remember he talked about the Sons of Liberty. He wants to redo that with the drums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll buy that. I'll double dip on that for sure.
Yeah, he mentioned releasing them on vinyl.
Yes. And he said something also about like, what was it? The centennial next
Yeah.
The
year?
bicentennial of America, yeah.
Yeah. He said he was going to do something special for that. And I don't know if that's Sons of Liberty related or not. I'm not sure.
Hey, whatever it is, I'll support it.
Me too.
He could do an album of nursery rhymes and make it.
Could be the
I know,
Glorious
right?
Burden Part 2.
Hey, if it's the Glorious Burden Part 2, yeah. I would definitely be getting that. No,
Hey,
Awesome.
you know it'd be awesome? The Iced Earth Christmas album.
we've already kind of got that in a way with the Schaffer Barlow project.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Every Christmas I jam that
Yeah,
I
but-
crank it. So, oh yeah.
Yeah, it works well with the We Are Sentinels album.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, I feel like that album's pretty underrated.
Yeah, I wonder when they're going to come out with another one. We Are Sentinels.
I actually got to see them live twice.
Twice.
Yep.
He saw
Oh, wow.
him twice.
Yeah, saw them twice.
Was that the brewery show or was that like a Matt Barlow solo show?
It was Matt and Jonah. They just did a little mini like 3 or 4 date tour a couple years ago, and it's just couple little dive bars. They did one in Central Jersey, and then the next day I saw it again in Philly.
Nice.
Yeah, I may be the only person to say that I've seen We Are Sentinels twice.
Speaking of Matt, right? I got jealous when they were doing the Incorruptible tour there, and they were playing in Baltimore, and Matt showed up and come out with the Iced Earth or whatever. I was like, man, I wish you could have done that when they were at the Gramercy Theater. But
Yeah, I was planning to
No.
go to the show after that, but it got canceled because of the snow.
Ugh.
Snow.
Yeah, we were going to go down to Delaware and see them, but there was a snowstorm that day, and the show just got canceled.
Yeah, it sucks so much.
Oh, I know, right?
That would have been the one
Mm.
time I would have gotten to see Iced Earth. But you know what? I got to see Demons and Wizards, which I love Iced Earth, but I
Mhm.
felt that I feel like because I got to see Demons and Wizards and it's like a rarity, I feel like it was more of a treat. I guess now Iced Earth is a rarity too. Like, but at the
Mhm.
time, it's like, you know, like at the time I was like, well, I'm lucky I got to see this band hasn't been together in several years.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that they weren't together, but they just didn't have the time since they had 2 full-time bands going. So,
Right.
And we got to see Matt sing at that show.
yeah, Matt sang at the Demons and Wizards show. He came out and what did they do? I Died for You.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like I was
Oh,
crying at
man.
that show, and I barely knew the stuff. That's a really good show.
Now that would be not, and I was thinking about circling back to what we were talking about earlier, that that Jesus Christ story concept. I could see Hansi being on that album as well.
That'd be cool.
Is Hansi religious, or do you not?
I don't know.
Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. I don't get a vibe either way.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. If he is, he is. If he's not, he's not.
Yep, that's right.
Well, that's what this country's all about: freedom of religion, freedom of choice.
And freedom of expression. Yep.
Yep. We can't, argue with that. So we just let people
Absolutely.
live and let
Mhm.
live.
Let them do what they do.
Live and
So,
let
okay, so I'm ready for the next question.
live. Okay.
Actually, I do got something I want to show off that I'm proud of.
Cool.
All right. All right. Can you all see my back camera?
Yeah.
See this box right here?
Yes.
My late fiance
Yep. Oh,
got
nice.
that custom made for me for my birthday one year.
No, that's
Wow. I
That is
remember that, but that's really awesome.
Nice.
Everyone, yeah. My late fiance, one of her neighbors, made that for me as a birthday present. And I would love for Jon Schaffer to see that box, just to get his input. So what do you think of the Ice Earth logo on it?
I
That
think
is
it looks
awesome.
great. It looks really great. Whoever made that's a very talented person.
Oh yeah, she was real good. Her name is CJ. She's very, very talented and made that thing by hand, by the way.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yes, it wasn't manufactured. It wasn't AI. She did it the old way, and it's
I'm very much impressed.
nice. So okay, all right. Does anyone else have any other questions for me?
Cool.
So, Blind Metal Gamer, what was it like interviewing John Greeley back when you did that?
That was cool. It was me and my late fiance. It was our second episode of the Bacon More Fun show, which we did that. John was very gracious about it. He was releasing his first Seventh Servant album, and I explained, I got this show. I want to get you on it so you can promote it, and we can maybe talk some old school metal and Ice to Earth, and just So the way we did it was I handled the metal questions and she handled the non-metal questions. So that was how we did that. And if you want Metal Rose, I can send you that particular video, or it's in my Bacon More Fun playlist. You can
Yes.
grab it. And
Yeah, I want to post that video in the description for sure.
all right, I'll get that to you along with my Linktree when we're done, and I'll you can post that for sure. But yeah, that's how we did that. It was a great experience. And at the time, he didn't have the second album in the works. He does now, which I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be called Sea of Glass.
Seventh Servant album is awesome. Look forward to a second one.
Yeah, that's it does rock.
It does.
Tree of Life. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you think? Do we know if the second Seventh Servant album actually in production, or is he still?
Not sure.
He's still grappling with, I know he said it was, I mean, the lyrics are written because it's the, Bible, I would guess, right?
I think, and I know in our interview that me and my
Yeah.
fiance, Servant of Cats, did,
Yeah.
we did our interview with him, with John Greeley, and he said he wants Jon Schaffer to play in his band.
I remember that. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. That kind of jogged my memory. I wanted to thank you for the cat or dog person question because it really went over very well on the podcast.
Oh, really?
It did. Yeah. Everybody was really into it. I did not expect that.
Nice.
I did not expect, John and Dr. Obvious and
Hmm.
Metal Dave, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about cats and dogs." Like they were so
Oh
excited.
yeah.
It was awesome. So I really thank you for that.
Hey, I let Furball know as well. She deserves credit on this one too. So
Yes. Oh yes. Yep. Fura definitely deserves credit.
yeah, buddy. So yeah,
Fura is another one of our blind friends. She's on the spectrum, and
right.
she's really
She's
cool.
awesome. She's awesome.
She's really cool.
Also, I
You
do have
always tell
something.
me when Trump's on TV.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I do have something I want to plug. I want to give more of a shout out to the Evil Chocolate Cookie. She is amazing. She's a fellow blind YouTuber who does audio games and blind tech and stuff. And I was actually getting into screen readers for the first time. And the one I originally got was free, but I needed one that was going to do some heavy lifting for, if the free one decided to not behave itself. So the Evil Chocolate Cookie got me into Jaws, which thank you to her for that one.
So Tiffany wanted to quickly jump in
You know
here.
what?
Okay.
Because I feel like it just disrupted flow for something super quick that I could probably just have mailed you about. But you know what I was thinking about recently? Maybe everybody might find this interesting anyway.
What's that, Tiffany? Shoot.
We have all these dogs that can sniff out diseases before they're even a problem. Why is there not a government fund to put facilities up in every single city that people can just go and you walk into a room and there's just a bunch of loose dogs, and if you have something, they walk up and they sniff you, and then you could be done? Like, how many people would be like serious medical complications could have been prevented from stuff like that?
Oh, I know. Now, if they could do something for the eye conditions and whatnot, sign me up.
Yeah, like
Because if I could get my vision back, I would take it.
Connected from what you were talking about having apps a certain way and stuff, but it keeps popping in my head as something I think that's important, because then what if somebody has a condition that's not exact, I don't know your exact condition, but what if somebody has something that causes blindness, and because they got diagnosed it didn't, like I just think about things like that. It's just sad how many things are
My condition is retinopathy of prematurity.
It's what?
Retinopathy of prematurity. If you want to learn more, Google it.
I will. All right. I'm
Cool.
sorry. That was it. It was quick. I'm doing a million things anyway. I'm sorry.
She just wanted to jump in there.
All right. So, yeah.
No, you're fine. You didn't throw everybody off.
So, okay, we were talking about Iced Earth.
We were.
Do you think it'll be a while before we see the next Iced Earth album, or what's going to happen next?
Hopefully sooner than later. I mean, he still needs to get people together. He told us that he hadn't really picked up a guitar in a while. But, that probably wouldn't take too long for him to get back into that. And who knows if he's been writing.
Who do you guys think should be in the lineup? Like, who would be the best candidate?
All right, Meadow Rose, you go first.
Me first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to say what I think what he should write albums about.
Okay, go on that then. Talk about that first.
All right, I'll say that first. So, I mean, I don't think I'm not going to get real specific, because I don't think I want to pressure John one way or another. I feel like that there's a lot of pressure on him to do an album for Christ. And, I'm not saying, like we were kind of saying, Bill was saying it best before, where it's like, even if he decided not to write an album about Christ, I don't think it really makes a difference as long as he knows where his place is with Jesus.
Exactly.
So, I would say I would like to hear him write about his most recent life experiences. And if some of it involves Christ, I think that would be okay. But if all of it does not, I also think that would be okay. I think it would be great to hear from him. And even if that brings us another Sons of Liberty album or something, I think it would be great to hear from his life experiences and the feelings that he has gone through. And I wonder if some of them would be similar to something Wicked, even, like I really wonder, but that's where I'm at with that. Who do I think should be the new members of Iced Earth?
Hmm.
Well, that's a tough question because um I wonder if they would really go on the road again based on what's going on. I mean, some people seem so obsessively angry. Is it safe out there for John?
Right.
That's another question we could all go over, I guess, at the end of this. But if they're not touring, hands down, it should be Matt Barlow. And I wonder maybe Freddie could do it too, because they were there for him. They were there for him for the court dates and stuff. And if you watch the footage of them in Greece when they did the Ashes of Aries stuff,
Hmm.
they're singing like Iced Earth songs, and they're talking. They didn't really say his name, but they're like, he wrote this. That man wrote these songs for you, and all these people are just so touched, and they're screaming in Greece, and they love him. They still love John. So
Yeah.
either if he does tour, maybe it should only be overseas, which would suck for us people in the United States. But
I
you
got
know,
my support.
wherever he's safest, but and maybe it would be a limited run if he gets Matt to come back and sing.
Hmm.
Like Ashes of Aries does a couple of shows here and there, a handful of things, something special to
Oh yeah, that would be epic.
I am one of those people, and I always really want to tell John this, but I don't know. I think it would go over well. He reminds me of Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple.
Mhm.
Not in the sense where he's exactly like a play. I mean, he does have a unique sense of playing, but it's different than Richie Blackmore's. And he's not like
Mhm.
Deep Purple was kind of a jam type thing, so it's not the style of music, but his personality is very much like Richie's, and his fan base is a lot like Richie's, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I've been in the Richie Blackmore fan base circle for the last 20 years, and their similarities are just insane. And I know for a fact that people come from all over the world over here to the East Coast to see Richie Blackmore because that's where he lives. So I have a good feeling that people from all over the world would pay to go wherever the hell just
John
to see Jon
goes.
Schaffer. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
how I feel about it. But so Matt and Freddie, I would like to see come back because they're loyal to John.
Oh yeah.
But at the in the same respect, I'd also, which kind of, what are you going to do here? I'd also like to see Luke and Jake come back.
Oh yeah.
I think that whatever happened with Luke is a misunderstanding. Luke does lessons with Metal Dave here. And Luke just had to do his own solo stuff. And Jake is clearly very supportive of John because he's commenting on different things. He commented on that Riffs from the Couch guys show. And I speculate because he said Jake was calling that he called John during our interview. So it seems like they're very much on the same level. And so I think that Luke and Jake could be brought back, and that would be great. And Brent, I want to see Brent come back.
Oh yeah,
Brent,
definitely Smedley.
why wouldn't we bring Brent back? Brent, has been there 100% of the time. So, we can do this all over again, but with maybe Matt as a singer and, maybe revolving members even, especially if it's just a recorded album and it's not a touring album.
Right.
The
Right.
possibilities are endless. But we do have that, that guy Sean Peck always says he wants to be in Iced Earth, and he does seem like he would be very loyal to John too. So that's
Now,
my
is Sean Peck a vocalist, or is he
Sean Peck is the vocalist from the band Cage, and he also
C-A-G or with a K?
C.
I'm gonna look him up.
And he's also in a band with Ross the Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Death Dealer.
I'll look up Death Dealer. Oh yeah,
they're sick. And then he does the Three Tremors with Tim Ripper Owens and Harry Conklin. He's the leader, and the backing band for that band is the band Cage.
I'll have to look them up.
And Sean, I think you say the last name is Elg. Sean Elg.
Sean Elg, yeah.
He's on KK's Priest, but he's also the drummer from Cage.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my answer for that. So, Bill, who do you think you would like to see in Iced Earth?
I would agree with that lineup. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. But going about what something Jon could do, something he could actually do to get his feet wet, and it would be something that he wouldn't even have to tour on, like you said. Like he was talking about originally before all this stuff happened with January 6th, with doing some of the re-records. And like I said, that would be a way for those people that back in the day would have some kind of income coming in for those albums. I mean, they could get together and re-record the first couple albums or something like that. And, either, and you know what, even if he wanted to, you don't always have to have the same singer on every album either,
Right.
You know what I secretly hope? They kind of redid some of the stuff they did their some original stuff with the Purgatory.
Oh yeah.
Lineup. Well, I would like to see him reunite and maybe do stuff maybe stuff that didn't make it to Storm Rider or something with John Greeley.
Oh no! Oh yeah, because I think the Storm Rider wasn't it going to be a lot bigger than what it turned out to be? I think it was.
I really would love to see him do Night of the Storm Rider stuff with Greeley.
Or how about an original Purgatory album?
Hey,
a whole entire new Purgatory album would be great too. Those guys absolutely
Gene and Bill.
They killed it.
Clearly love Jon.
Oh yeah, and what I'm thinking, if they did the re-record thing, they could maybe do a concept like there's a Purgatory with the Glorious Burden, Framing Armageddon, Plagues of Babylon, Incorruptible, with Matt, maybe like a revolving door of singers. Get Matt, Jon, Gene, Ripper.
Maybe somebody new. Maybe a compilation type album even.
Hey, I would buy it.
Where just all different players come in and they work with Jon Schaffer, and it's just a Jon Schaffer solo album or something. Imagine something like that, where just all these different players come in and all about Jon.
That I would buy it. I would go on Amazon and pre-order it just like that. Now, as far as a lineup, all right. Would you like to hear my lineup for us?
Absolutely.
So my lineup, I'm kind of with Bill. To me, it was. They could do the revolving door of singers thing, but definitely Matt, Barlow for sure. Maybe Gene, maybe get Matt, Jon, Gene, and Ripper back, or maybe get a new singer, get some fresh faces in there.
Absolutely. So, how about you, Dave? What's your dream lineup?
Well, like everyone else, seeing Matt in the band would be cool, but I think maybe Lance King would be good.
Oh yeah, oh yes, Urban Breed maybe.
Urban Breed, yeah, that would be cool. Or
yeah, I could see Lance King. Oh yeah, Jeff Scott Soto maybe.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
What about Jordan Land?
He can sing anything. Jordan's
awesome.
Yeah, he can sing anything.
Russell Allen, Queensryche singer, he would be good.
Now who's the new? Now I haven't heard the new Queensryche singer.
He's good.
He sounds exactly. Matt sounds
exactly like Jeff Tate.
Yeah, Matt went on stage. Todd Latore. I don't know why his name.
Todd Latore. Okay.
Yeah. Matt. We'll have to. I could probably send you the link. Matt actually went on stage with them and sang something, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they did Queens of the Reich.
That's so cool. It was so cool.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the sound guy didn't have his mic all the way up, so it's kind of hard to hear him, but you can still hear him.
Oh, wow. So, And as far as like a new album, yeah, I could see them like doing like re-recording because I know he wanted to re-record Storm Rider and burn, do a lot of the, But if they did re-record Storm Rider, I think he mentioned wanting to expand it. It was originally going to be like a 22-track album or something like that. Yeah, definitely tell the full Storm Rider story. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, and he could get like guest vocalists on it.
Yeah. Or
John
definitely.
Greeley. Yeah, well, definitely have John. He's the Storm Rider. But I'm
Jon Schaffer's the Storm Rider.
hey,
That's in my opinion.
but but like, what if there's other characters to this story that we haven't got to see yet or hear yet? Get these other vocalists and do it that way.
This is why John has to come up with the comic books too, though, because there's so much more to this story.
Oh yeah.
In general.
Oh yeah. And just imagine the medium. I mean, he mentioned wanting to go into the video game space. I could see that with Storm Rider.
That would be sick. That would definitely be sick.
Oh yeah, and make it accessible, blind accessible. I'm in.
Yep.
But yeah, that would be my lineup. Have like revolving singers.
Nice.
Because that way you get to hear all the older singers, but then have the newer singers in there too.
So, Dave, did you want to add anybody else to your lineup?
Well, I do have a fantasy lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Matt and Stu.
Mm-hmm.
Have them both singing. They can do their own, like what Halloween does.
Mm-hmm.
They could, do each other's songs and then do their own.
Oh.
That'd be awesome.
On guitar,
mm-hmm.
probably put Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
On bass, Dave Ellefson.
Nice.
And on drums, Brent.
Nice.
Yeah, we got to keep Brent in the
Yeah, Brent would be in my lineup too. And as far as bass, Dave Ellefson and if I could have anyone that was no longer with us, I would say Peter Steele on bass.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
So yeah, great podcast, guys, and thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. I know I won't be around next week. I'll be in Cape Cod, but probably the following week I'll be around again.
Hey, I look forward to when I get to come back on again. Hopefully we can get the man himself, Jon Schaffer, when I'm on, because I do want to know what color that cat of his is, because Farrah wants to know.
Yeah.
She wants to know what color he is. Bad.
Oh.
And if she can steal him, she wants to steal him from him and never give him back, ever.
We all love Jon Schaffer's cat.
Yeah.
What color is it? Do you know?
I don't.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
great having you, Blind Metal Gamer, and great having you, Dave.
Yep.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
good seeing you as always, Bill.